Yesterday I was doing a presentation. I asked ChatGPT to help me with the presentation. I looked at it and I said, this is rubbish. So I just went there. I didn't have anything. I just spoke from the heart, and I think my presentation was even better than AI. So I think AI has its place, has its moments, but once we creatives and journalists start relying on AI to represent who we are lost. I have no problem with AI. I have no problem with technology. I'm a firm believer in the traditional way of doing things, books. A book is something that you hold dear, the sentimental value to owning a book. But you are taking me back to a point I made earlier. We're talking about AI and technology and so on. What happens if Google crashes tomorrow? The book is based on the siege of Russia, which happened in 1854 October, in which the Voortrekkers massacred more than 2,000 Ndebele people. But in my book, I take the story to 1974, which is 120 years after the siege. And it's more than just a story of resistance. It's a story of love. Two young people fall in love in a time when there are efforts to remove the people forcibly from their ancestral land to create the game reserve or a nature reserve for the sole use of white people.
Welcome to the People's Eye podcast. Today we are at the Ingcayizivele Book Festival in Mbombela. I'm having my host here is Ledwaba. He's not new to the podcast. He's an author, he's an award-winning journalist. Above all, he's Ndebele Nyakatho. I think that's very important. Welcome, Lucas.
Thank you, Sizwe. And the People's Eye was actually the first media platform that gave us an audience when we published the book, The Sacred Hills. So thank you so much. It's good to be back in Mbombela. Mbombela is home.
Here we have this book, The Sacred Hills, based on a historical event, very important event in South Africa. Just take us through briefly, what is it about?
The book is based on the siege of Russia, which happened in 1854 October, in which the Voortrekkers massacred more than 2,000 Ndebele people. But in my book, I take the story to 1974, which is 120 years after the siege. And it's more than just a story of resistance. It's a story of love. Two young people fall in love in a time when there are efforts to remove the people forcibly from their ancestral land to create the game reserve or a nature reserve for the sole use of white people. So that is the essence of the story. But it's also an attempt on my part. You said I'm a Ndebele Nyakatho. It's an attempt on my part to tell the story of Ndebele Nyakatho, because in the book I use, in the dialogue and in some phrases, we use Ndebele Nyakatho, which is not an official language in South Africa. But it's been spoken for I don't know how many years, 1,000 years. It became a victim of that apartheid machinery that tried to create super tribes where some nations were isolated, deleted from history, from existence. Isihlubi, Isilala, Isipata, Siphuthi. And they tried to create a super tribe. But fortunately, it has proven that you don't need a government or you don't need government policy for people to speak a language. If people want to preserve their language, they will do so.
Exactly. And beside the book being a historical event and also a story of love, I think it touches on the most important and sensitive subject, the issue of land, ancestral land. And with ancestral land comes a lot of things. Spirituality is tied to it. Our being is also attached to the land. As you wrote the book, what did you have in mind in consideration of that?
Yeah. Look, land is a subject that's very close to my heart, and I think land is a subject that's very close to every indigenous person's heart. Because we come from the land. We are of the land. We are the land. What are we without the land? So, if we ignore the issue of land, we ignore our being, we ignore who we are. Because land is the essence of everything. When you are born from the land. Your umbilical cord is buried where? Is it thrown in the sky? It's buried in the land. When you die, where are you buried?
In the land.
In some cultures, they cremate your body and put it in the Ganges River and let it go and become part of the ecosystem. In Africa, in South Africa, we believe that when you die, you return to the land. I don't know how many times you have seen court cases where people are fighting with, hey, this person needs to be buried back home. Because the land defines who we are. It defines what we are. And that is where the spiritual aspect comes in. So we cannot be separated from the land. And you see, in our society today, we have a lot of violence, unexplained things that you don't even understand. Where do these things come from? It is partly because of that disconnection from the land, the spirituality, disconnection from who we are.
Exactly.
We are lost. We are angry, very angry. We don't understand who we are. That's why a father, so I read a story now recently, a father who's 46, 50, was convicted for raping his 6-year-old daughter. Where do we even start looking at your 6-year-old daughter as a sexual object? Something must have gone wrong somewhere. And I'm not trying to justify anything. But I'm saying there's something that's broken.
A very important thing.
And when you go back, most of it goes back to the disconnection with the land. Uprooted, violent. You must remember, forced removals. They were not nice where they come with a court order and say, Mr. Yende, you and your family must leave next month. They come today at 4 o'clock in the morning and you put everything on the truck and whatever cannot be put there, kettle and so on, you leave it there. You are uprooted. You are gone. You don't even know where you are going.
Exactly.
You go to a township. I mean, in the story, there's a chapter where the subjects are talking about being uprooted from the life that they are accustomed to. And now they're going to be taken to a township. And they talk about things that at face value are trivial issues. But they talk about an important issue. Say, no, in the township, we're going to sleep in the same house. 2-bedroom house with our children. Where is the privacy there? Where is the respect? Where is the honor? What are we seeing today? Children are highly sexualized because they grew up in matchbox houses, RDP houses, which are even worse than the apartheid houses.
That's true. It touches actually a nerve. But now, the way you are telling this historical event, you're telling it in a novel form, I think our history was distorted a lot. Your approach, how does it help to make sure that the younger ones are getting the right information, the historical information?
See, so, when I was growing up, I grew up in township Soshanguve, and we were one of few Ndebele speaking families. And I was always asking the elders, do we have a Ndebele book? Say, no, we don't have a Ndebele book. And I say, why? They say, aye. Because you guys, when people were writing books, we were busy fighting over chieftaincy and so on. So, what is it that I want people to take from this book? First of all, there are still people today. Actually, this week I I had a very heated discussion with another guy on social media who said the Embo Empire never existed. There's no such a thing. The only Ndebeles he knows are Mziligazi. He thinks Mziligazi Gakumalo is the founder of the Ndebele nation.
Yeah.
So by writing about stories of Abambo, Mandebele, Nyakatho, even using the language in the book is the first step to reclaiming who we are. Because there's nothing written about us.
Yeah.
There's nothing filmed about us. There are people who are singing, who have recorded Ndebele songs. One of them was a great man, Jonas Gwangwa. He's Mrungwa. He's part of us. He recorded a full song. Ledwaba, Ledwaba, lame letewe kubani. Ledwaba, lame letewe kubani. It's a traditional Ndebele song.
Yeah.
Africa lefatshe la badimo, he uses Ndebele chants and idioms.
Yeah.
In another song, Ndebele la sumela mala le afa. That's a Ndebele chant. So he uses that. And that is very important. If someone like Jonas Gwangwa, an internationally recognized artist, can use his platforms to promote his language, he set the tone for many of us to follow in that direction. So I felt very strongly that I really need to write this story that I've been so fascinated with from my teens. I first read about the siege of Rwasha in Reader's Digest history book.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to come to that. Was the characters that you created there? Are they part of the oral history that you heard from the elder people, that there was this kind of a person, did this and that, or you had to start everything afresh?
All the characters in the book are fictional. I created them myself.
Okay.
Except for maybe the people that were killed, 2,000 Ndebeles.
Yes.
Pete Potgieter, who was the leader. So in the book, I tried to use Nkosi Gegana and Nkolo Galana to tell the story, to retell the story.
Yeah.
Because, one of the saddest things about our country and about the Mandebele nations, our history is scattered everywhere. It was orally passed down from one generation to another.
Yeah.
Now, we don't have much written material. The written material that exists is sitting in suitcases in homes because people were afraid to come out and say, I'm Ndebele, and this is our true history. So they wrote, but it was hidden. People changed their surnames. Ledwaba became Ledwaba. Legalagala became Legalagala. Gegan, who's one of the chiefs, major chiefs of the Northern Ndebele people, became Gegana. Actually, the chief who died a few years ago, Gegana, couldn't even speak one word of Northern Ndebele. But he's the chief of the Ndebele. But when you look at it, it's not his fault entirely. Well, it's his fault. It was his fault. He's a chief. You can't be
it's custodian of the language
and not speak Sizulu.
Yeah, true. You've got to try.
You need to learn. You understand? So the apartheid machinery made it so difficult for people to come out and say, I'm so and so. Because, for instance, in 1873, the British government issued a declaration that the Hlubi nation must cease to exist. All the Hlubis can no longer be acknowledged as Hlubis. They must become part of Basotho, Mazulu, Bohadebe. Those are the kings of the Amahlu. But today they identify as Zulu because to be identified as Hlubi meant a death sentence.
Yeah, tough history.
So by writing this book, I'm trying to start something, and I think it's one of many books that are going to come that deal with this part of our history.
No, please do produce more of them.
Because Sizwe, I'm sorry to interject. I think when you go through our literary history, historical accounts and so on, you go to libraries, you would think that South African history only started in 1912 or in 1789, 1787 when Shaka was born.
Yeah.
When you go to DSTV, every production, 95% is Zulu. When you go to theater, movies, Shaka Zulu. And there was not even such a person in our history.
Yeah.
Even the language that is spoken now, we are told is Zulu, is not the language that was spoken in the 17 or 1800s.
Exactly.
It's a language that was crafted to create a super tribe by the colonial powers.
Yeah. There's a lot to rectify. Before I open for the audience, if there's any who's got questions, how is the book doing though? In terms of being welcomed by the market, by readers? Well, it's a small market, obviously.
Yeah. You know, Caesar, I've written other books before, published by reputable publishers, bookstores, and so on. I don't know if I've been able to sell more than 2,000 copies of all those books combined through bookstores and so on. So I decided to go the self-publishing route. So I sell the book.
Much better.
My car doesn't have a boot, it's a buggy. So I sell the book from everywhere, from the toilet. When I go to the restaurant to eat, I put copies of my book next to me.
Yeah.
When I go to have a drink, I market the book myself.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I went out to print flyers and business cards. And there's a reason for that, I think. And I see most institutions, people, artists, everyone are falling into that trap.
Yeah.
Where we save everything, we use everything, or share everything and save everything, our work, on social media.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what will happen tomorrow if Google crashed? Facebook crashed, Instagram crashed. What will happen to a lot of artists?
All of that information is lost.
It's gone.
It's gone.
Who owns it? So I decided I want to go self-publishing. I sell the book. I spend money on editing, design, everything. And I think the editing was top quality, very good. I'm happy with everything.
Yeah.
And I've learned a lot. That I remember Ledwaba told me that when you are writing a book, you are an author. After that, you are a businessman.
Yeah.
And that's what I've learned, and I'm trying to implement that. So the reason I went self-publishing is because I want to own my work.
Yeah.
If Hollywood comes and says, we want to turn this into a film, I negotiate on my terms. I don't have to go through somebody. I've approached bookstores, reputable bookstores, say, I've got a book, here it is. I never got the response. Not once. Not once. Yeah. And this is why I've sold my books previously through other publishers.
Yeah.
So I want to believe that, and I think there's a movement in South Africa. It happened in Nigeria in the 80s, 90s, where producers of film, music, writers of books, publishers decided to go their own way and say, we own our work, we're going to sell it our own way.
Yeah,
and I think that is what the industry is like today, is going to be like that. The major publishing houses will still be there, but I don't have to wait 6 months to get a response to say whether we want to publish your manuscript or not. If I believe in my manuscript, why can't I publish it
But
myself?
Also, more importantly, I think doing the way you're doing it, you're bypassing censorships by the publishing company. They might not like what you're saying. Maybe if you...
They don't have to.
Yeah, you correcting...
I write what I like.
You correcting historical facts, and then they think you should be writing it in a particular way. You avoid that.
Yeah.
Which is the way to go, I think.
Because it's my story. It's the story of the people of Washa.
Yeah.
Yes, it's fictional, but it's historical. I wrote this story. I tell this story because I believe in this story, and this is how I want to tell the story.
Yeah.
I've heard in the past, you have for instance, we had a Marikana book. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Sorry. Marikana book.
Yeah.
And I wrote, the Basotho men took the song.
Yeah.
to another, to the skies, or I can't remember.
Yeah.
And the editor says, no, the Sesotho men.
Oh.
So that already tells you it's somebody who does not understand the context. We as African writers, we have always been edited by whites.
Yeah.
Europeans.
Yeah.
They want us and our stories to fit into their understanding of the world.
Yes. True.
But we understand what we are writing about. Like I was saying to you, there's a historical figure that has been created, has become an icon, Shaka Zulu. There's no one like that. There's never been anyone like that in our history. It's Shaka Rasenzanga Kona. Because Africans, we didn't have surnames the way surnames are used today.
Yeah.
So, kuzothiwa no, labantu abahleli lapha inkosi yabo uZulu. So mabazo register bafuna ama-ID. Sizwe, yeah, sizwe wababane, ubabami uyende, hayi uZulu. Because you are from, your chief is Zulu.
Exactly.
But we were not socialized like that.
No.
My surname now is Ledwaba, but ideally my surname is supposed to be Khwadi. Malesela ga Khwadi, because Khwadi is my father.
Yes.
My father would be Khwadi Ramalosi.
Yeah.
Malosi would be Malosi ga Sibabala. You know, that kind of thing. So part of self-publishing for me is part of that reclaiming and decolonizing our stories, our thinking, our writing. Because there are so many books that you read and you realize the author here was shortchanged either by the publisher or the editor because they didn't understand what exactly this person was trying to say. And the most difficult thing, the most annoying thing is when they don't understand, they don't come to you and ask, what do you mean? They just change it because they believe, because of as white skin. Therefore, they are superior in terms of thinking. How can Sizwe and they not know the history of the people? How can a Smith understand your history better than yours? When they have not even lived where you come from, they don't speak your language. You see? So, and I want to encourage a lot of authors to go the self-publishing route. But always ensure that there's quality control, all the editing, design, everything's proper. Because that's where we're going to be able to reclaim who we are. When you publish a book through a publisher, you get your royalties in May and November.
Okay.
I sell the book every day. I don't have to wait for November or May.
We are in control of the information. Even my wife is more happier these days because I always seem to have some money. But my plan about the book also is to translate the book into African languages. Even European languages, Mandarin, Chinese, Mandarin, French. Why not? And I'm in charge of that. I'm not going to plead and write letters, say, please. No. I can find an agent and say, find me a person who's the best translator to translate this book. And let's find the money to do that. The National Arts Council does fund such projects. But is there any literature written in Ndebele sase Nyakatho?
There's only one book that I know about that's published. I know there are people who have written books, but they have not published. They are in their homes and they are old. Some have passed on. And the bad thing about us African people is that kubizwa anti bathi ngena lapha eofisini yakhe ni clean lo muntu bekathanda inyakanyaka incwadi ligcwele lamaphepha. They take everything and they burn it and they don't know that they are burning a legacy information. One book that was published, grammar, I think there's only one copy left in the world. It's in Pretoria at the State Library or something like that. It's a grammar, Northern Ndebele grammar book, and it's not written by Ndebele. It's written by Professor Zirvuhel from University of Pretoria. Brilliant researcher. He stayed with the Ndebele people. He spoke Ndebele.
Okay.
When you look at that book, it's 99.9% Ndebele grammar.
Yeah.
Yeah. He actually, somewhere where he explains where Kekana, God is the name. And it's true, that's how it is. Kekana was actually Mtombeni. He was the son of Msika Mhlanga.
Yeah, yeah.
Again, he was the son of Msika Mhlanga. Msika Mhlanga had sons. One of them was Mtombeni, and they fought when Musi died, and they moved around the state in Skukune, then went to Mpahlele, then he ended up at Zebediela.
Yeah.
And then when he met with the other Ndebeles, he said, "Aw, uphumapi? Hey, musalo ugegile. Mtombeni, ugegile man.
Yeah.
Nambili yabagobani, ugegana." Now comes the apartheid administration. What is gegana, yong? It's gegana semenza. And it became gegana, which has been adopted as a surname today.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
actually the real name is Mtombeni. And then when you use the nickname, Ndebele ugegana.
Yeah. But now, what's your
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. In the book, I'm using the real name, Gegan. Nkosi Gegan. And I'm not using Inkos because we don't use that in Tegere. Nkosi Gegan.
Yeah.
So it's also part of reclaiming our language. UNESCO says 6,000 languages are in danger of going extinct
Yes, yeah.
by 2030.
I was going to ask you that. What is your opinion on preserving languages that are dying?
So just imagine now, 50 years from now, the whole of Mbombela, no one speaks Siswati.
It's possible. It's going there.
You go to KZN, no one speaks isiZulu. You go to Limpopo, no one speaks Sotho Salebo.
Yeah.
You know, I'll give you an analogy. I was watching a press conference, Gaza, last year, when the Gaza crisis was at its peak. It still is.
Yeah.
Very sad. President of China, when he addresses the media and he addresses the world, he speaks in which language? In Mandarin.
Yeah.
He doesn't care if you understand or not. He's addressing you in his language.
Yeah.
The president of Iran, supreme leader of Iran, does not speak to the world media in English.
Yeah.
He speaks in his language.
Yeah.
President of France, Macron, speaks in French.
Yeah.
If you want to engage him, you'll get a translator or he doesn't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cyril Ramaphosa, Emerson Mnangagwa, Paul Kagame, and others, African leaders.
Yeah.
When they address the world media, they do so in what language?
English.
English. Why? Are they Englishmen? They are not.
No, they are not.
Yes. Language is power. Jinping speaks in Mandarin. He speaks there. He lives. He doesn't care. You understood or not, you'll get a translation.
Yeah.
Because his Jinping is the president of China. A powerful nation. He speaks in his language. I spent a month in Cairo, 2004. I'm telling you, I thought I was educated and I came back.
What happened?
Because you speak to people in English, they respond. They understand you.
Yeah.
And they can speak English.
Yeah, but they respond
in Arabic. So you must learn Arabic because you want something from them.
Yeah.
You understand? Even the president of Egypt today speaks in Arabic. Arab nations, when they deal with the media, with the world, especially with Africa, they will speak in their own language. When Trump meets with the leader of Iran, if they do, the leader of Iran won't compromise and speak English.
Yeah. There's a translator.
They'll find each other, there's a translator. So we need to find a way as Africans to reclaim who we are. We need to be proud of who we are. We need to understand that there is power in language. Language is power, my man.
It's power, huh?
Yeah. If I walk down the street in town and I meet a wonderful lady and I speak to her in English and
Yeah. Okay.
You understand?
Okay. Yeah.
But if I speak to her in Swati, then she'll be, chances are that she'll get interested in what I'm saying. Nelson Mandela said, if you speak to a person in a language that they understand, it goes to their head. But if you speak to them in the language that defines who they are, it goes to their heart.
Very important.
Yeah, quite jolly.
Yeah, but in South Africa, we're having a problem of these many countries that we put together. Let's say if Ramaphosa were to address the nation in his native language, many people will feel left out.
Yeah, no, we can't do that. And it's not only in South Africa. In Nigeria, they have more than 100
Nigeria even is bad.
native languages.
Yeah.
In Zimbabwe,
Yeah.
more than 10. I think as Africa, we need to find a way. I see in West Africa, there's a movement. They've done away with French, or they're trying to do away with French.
Yeah.
But the reality is, I'm writing in English. I'm trying to get the books translated into indigenous languages. The reality is now, are we able to go back to where we come from in terms of languages? Which language were we speaking before? It's Singuni, right?
Yeah.
We were speaking Singuni and Sesotho. And then Sesotho differed from different areas and so on.
Yeah.
Do you want to go back, or do you want to go forward and adopt a new language or start a new language? I don't know. It's a very difficult thing. I think even the African Union, SADC, ECOWAS, in Tanzania, the official language is Kiswahili and English. In Botswana, English.
Setswana and English, yeah.
But it doesn't mean there are other people. There are no other people who speak other languages there. There's Sikalanga, Ovambo, and so on. In the case of South Africa, I don't think we can go back to a point where we say, no, we speak one African language. Which one?
Yeah, which one? Exactly. That will be a problem. Yeah.
So that's why I wrote this book in English, but so I think we need to find a way of using language in different forms.
Or we need to embrace the change that is happening, because it's inevitable that languages develop and change.
All the time.
Whatsoever. Even Zulu that is spoken where I come from, south of this province, is different from Zulu that is spoken in Kun, for instance.
When I go home to Pretoria now, the Tsotsitaal that we spoke when we were young is no longer there. There's a new Tsotsitaal now. Young people have come up with new terms, new words. And that's language, it evolves. It's like culture. But if we say to ourselves, hey, we must reclaim our Africanness and speak one language, the question is, which one?
Yeah.
Because even the language that you call isiZulu today did not exist 200 years ago. People didn't speak like this.
It did not, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was created, people sat down and say, okay, let's find a common name for cattle.
Yeah.
Izinko. Let's find a common word for this and that.
Yeah.
But people didn't speak the same. Yeah. You go to Ndebele, they speak differently.
Yeah.
You go to Maritzburg, different.
Yeah.
You come here, where you come from, Evoklos, different. But people could understand each other. But then now the question becomes, which one is the official language? Even us, Mategele and Ndebele, Northern Ndebele. When you go to Mashashani, the language is different from Mokopane.
Yeah.
We go to KwaNdebele, Northern Ndebele speakers, it's different. You go to Ngidigitlan, you know.
Yeah.
So that's a big challenge for Africa. I think we need to find a way. And I don't think it is possible.
It's not.
I don't think it's possible for us to say, okay, you go to Eswatini, Kangwan. They have a common language. They don't have problems there. Kulma Swat. It's Swat.
Yeah.
But here,
no, it will need a whole reconfiguration of the country, I think. Take we're separate countries, so we need to re-establish the old countries, but which is not really possible. But that's the problem we are facing.
Were we countries actually in the first place?
Yeah.
We were not. The first country.
Not in the sense of the Western way.
Yeah, but we were kingdoms.
Yes,
kingdoms.
Yeah.
Embo Kingdom.
Yes.
Amalala Kingdom. Griqua Kingdom, etc.
Yeah.
So it's going to be difficult, very, very difficult. I think we need to be forward looking rather than backward looking.
Yeah. Very interesting. I think we will need to close it here and
Wrapping it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, thank you for the opportunity. I just want to thank the organizers of Ingcayizivele Book Festival, because, colleagues, our country is under siege from drugs, alcohol, crime and violence amongst young people especially.
Yeah.
And I want to believe that books, literature has the power to influence society positively.
Yeah.
My wish is to see the festival grow bigger and actually being hosted in a rural community or in a township where it is accessible to an even bigger audience.
Yeah.
Because in our country, there is a problem of mentality, and we need a mentality shift.
Yeah.
When you host a book festival,
Yeah.
people already ask, what am I going to benefit financially? And it's never about that. Sizwe does the people's eye from a shoestring budget, telling very important stories. Who supports him? The corporate world, do they care? The government, do they care? No. But we don't look at the impact of that podcast, the impact of this book festival, and the possibilities that might come if they get more support. You know, I come from Limpopo. I drove here this morning.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry I was late for our session in the morning because I was working yesterday. I don't come here because of money. There's no money here. I come here because I believe in the dream.
And knowledge is power.
I'm a Pan-Africanist. I believe in the notion of Africans doing things for themselves, by themselves, with themselves, for the benefit of Africans.
Yeah.
Now, if we sit and say, hey, government, and we don't do anything, we will never get anywhere.
Yeah.
The organizers are doing a great job, and I really want to thank them, and I hope they continue to grow.
Lastly, I almost forgot about this. Technology. There's technology now. There's AI. Our children are using phones. We're still publishing books in this format, which I don't know. I think most people are no longer reading books like these ones. How do we take advantage of the new technology and keep on the struggle going to encourage people to read, to encourage people to do proper research, to encourage authors like you to get into those platforms as well, to ensure that the message still rolls out.
Sizwe, I have no problem with AI. I have no problem with technology. I'm a firm believer in the traditional way of doing things, books.
Yeah.
A book is something that you hold dear, the sentimental value to owning a book.
Yeah.
But you are taking me back to a point I made earlier.
Yeah.
We're talking about AI and technology and so on.
Yeah.
What happens if Google crashes tomorrow? I'm a photographer as well. I store my pictures on Google Drive and cloud and so on.
But what if?
And I always wonder, what if these systems crash tomorrow?
Yeah.
Who has access to those files that I'm storing there?
Yeah.
What happens when I die? Not if. There's no if I die. We're all going to die. So it's when I die.
Yeah.
So I want to believe that the traditional way is still the way to go for me.
Yeah.
Right now, I struggle to get a newspaper where I stay because you find it in very few places. It has become very difficult for publishers to distribute newspapers. But I want to read. I want to take my newspaper, sit under a tree and read. I don't want to sit under a tree with my laptop and then I'm gonna be mugged, or I have to run out to go and charge. I need data. There's connectivity issues. You understand? So I think there's a place for both to coexist. But I'm worried about our over-reliance on technology and AI and so on. I'm very worried about that, because that means we are no longer producing content. We are relying on technology to produce for us, and then we claim, I know.
Yeah, AI can produce the sacred hills in full book.
In 5 minutes or less. But is that really me?
Yeah.
You understand? So I still believe in the old way. If it doesn't work, if I can sell 500 books, I'm happy. It means 500 people are interested in my story. If AI can sell 10,000, I'm not interested. If AI can generate a book and sell 10,000, I'm not interested. Who's AI?
Yeah.
You understand? I buy books. I bought books today from fellow authors.
Yeah.
Because I believe in the hustle, in the struggle. Yeah. I mean, you produce a podcast every week. You can easily produce the podcast via AI. Put a guy there to interview people. Put a camera there and... Is that really authentic?
No, it's not.
It's not. It's not. To me, AI is not sustainable.
Yeah, because now the problems are starting to show themselves. You have lawyers found by the courts for using ChatGPT. Students are now cheating because they just go there and they get answers. Sometimes they are wrong because the human element is needed still.
I tested AI. I was doing a project. I was doing a profile on someone, and I asked AI to write a profile on this person. And it did. 2 minutes, and I read it, codes and everything.
Yeah.
And I said, this is unacceptable. This is cheating.
Yeah.
Because this person actually never said this. Although AI makes it sound like it understands this person's thinking and this is what they would say. But where is my integrity as a writer, journalist? Where is the respect for the ethics of journalism? So I think AI has its place for its people and so on. Yesterday I was doing a presentation. I asked ChatGPT to help me with a presentation. I looked at it and I said, this is rubbish. So I just went there. I didn't have anything. I just spoke from the heart, and I think my presentation was even better than AI. So I think AI has its place, has its moments, but once we creatives and journalists start relying on AI to represent who we are lost.
We're lost. Okay. No, thanks for making time again to chat to us.
Thank you so much, Sizwe and Bombela, for welcoming me. I don't know if there's questions from the audience. There's 2 audience members.
It looks like
the last time
all is well.
When we were at your studio, we sang, and this gentleman didn't record us. We must sing again today. Untano monto ovelele namhlanje kuyovelela nomubani osaphila kulomhlaba
uyifake Facebook
impilo yomhlaba leyo